All right, of course, as normal, why don't we start off with quick little introductions going across from left to right, and so we know who the panel is.
Good morning. My name is Dean Medeiros. I'm the Sage 300 practice leader here at BAS.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Chuck Jerome. I'm Vice President of Business Development at BAS and spend most of my time helping our clients evaluate new solutions.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Denis Boudreau. I'm the Sage X3 practice leader at BAS.
Good morning. I'm Daniel Lowe. I'm the Vice President of New Business at Sage Canada.
All right, awesome. Thank you so much. I'm going to start with you, Chuck. Can you describe BAS's approach to helping clients identify the best solution for them?
Well, thanks very much. I think the basic philosophy that we have, Joe really earlier has captured what that is, and it's always been a client-first philosophy. So for us, it doesn't matter necessarily what solution any of our clients introduce into their business. We just want to make sure it's the right technology. So our job is really to help you evaluate what's available and then help you implement that to ensure that you're getting the best value out of that investment. And we do that through a discovery process where we take the time to identify kind of where you're at, what the key challenges are that you have right now, in other words, what's driving the need for potentially introducing automation or software into other areas of your business. But understanding those needs, we flush out what the key requirements are, how reporting may be affected, levels of automation, what areas of the business are going to be impacted by this. And by doing so, then that gives us the opportunity to go back and evaluate what are going to be the right solutions for you. As you've heard here again earlier, there are a number of different products and solutions as far as the core pieces are concerned. Rob, who represents so much of the third-party software developers, the enhancements that are available for you there, or maybe it's migrating to a different solution. But we want to then take those solutions to you to be able to evaluate. We'll provide you with a budget, what's the investment for the software, the implementation services, discuss different approaches to doing the implementation, because for some companies, they may have less resources and time, they need more assistance from us, or they're able to take it on full steam and we work in more of an advisory capacity. So we want to be flexible to assist our clients in getting to where they need to go. If you need proof that something's going to work, we can go into a prototype type of engagement where proof of concept is important. We can install the software with your organization, take you through some training, and actually test it. So in the end, we're here to help guide you or navigate you through the different systems that are available and make sure that you're getting aligned with the right technology and meeting the key objectives.
It's a really good point, Chuck, around the right technology for the right business, for the right set of needs. When we flip over to Daniel and just talk a little bit around Sage's commitment to X3, 300, and Intact, and how we're going to market with supporting each.
Yeah, thanks, James. I think it's important to note that Sage has a very broad portfolio of products, and we remain committed to Sage 300, X3, and newly Sage Intact. I think most of you are probably using the Sage 300 solution in this room, and one of the things that many of you may or may not know, it's one of our largest mid-market solutions globally. And we sell this, and there's hundreds of thousands of companies using this product all over the world. So Mark talked a little about the innovations and the technology and the enhancements that are coming to the product. I'm really excited about what that's going to look like, and I can't wait for us to start to talk to you more and show you where that product's going. But I think there's a huge opportunity for all of you to making sure that you're using and leveraging the best technology they have today. And a lot of that is not just in the core products that we sell, but also extended through the ISVs that are here today as well.
So ISV is absolutely in terms of that extensibility. Then there's also the Sage HR component. There's CRM. I know Zainab would, give me a shot in the shins if I didn't mention CRM. So, and Sage's commitment around that.
That's a really good point. So the financial accounting piece is just one component. But we know your business revolves around HR, payroll, CRM. There are multiple areas. And if you look at how deep the Sage solutions are and the extensibility of what's available, you'll be very surprised. Most of our customers use about 40 to 60% of the capability in the solution. And that may surprise many of you, but if you look deeper at what the products can do, you'll be surprised that a lot of the capability does exist in the core solution. And if not, there is a very deep, robust ecosystem of add-ons and ISVs that are available to you as well.
Denise, switching over to you, for each solution, can you kind of walk us through what the profile of a typical company using the solutions, different solutions, include kind of background on common industries, and even region as well? What are you seeing the difference between, say, an Ontario customer versus Quebec, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I'll speak from the X3 standpoint, then I'll let perhaps Chuck and Dean speak from the Intact and 300 side. From an X3 perspective, whoever is going to join us on the X3 track, not a plug for the X3, but you're going to hear us say multi, right? If you're into what the typical customers that we see leveraging X3 as their ERP solutions are typically in multiple legislation, multiple countries, multiple language. I mean, we spoke about the Intact, the French language being available soon. Again, there's over 15 language packs pre-built in X3. In conversations with Sage, with marketing, I know X3 focuses a lot on discrete process manufacturing, wholesale distribution, but at BAS, we also, again, listen to the customers, think outside the box as well. If you look at the X3 architecture, how it's built, if you're into more complex requirements, again, operating in Europe, operating in Canada, operating on the state side, requires more robust functionality within the system. So that's where we typically see the X3 organization pick X3 for solutions. So there's no better, this is not about a better solution. It's all about, as Chuck mentioned, it's all about listening to what the customer really needs and then helping them, guide them through and sometimes we'll show them one or two ERPs, and let them decide which one makes the most sense.
I love the subtle implication there, Denis, around listening, which means that we need everybody to come to you and talk to you, and so that you can hear what it is that they need. So, Dean, if you pick up that baton and kind of take it forward with 300 and Intact side.
Yeah, I think what I'd say with 300 is, if you look across this room, there's probably 100 different industries, represented, and so I think that's the strength of 300 is its flexibility and adaptability to a number of different scenarios. Echoing on what Daniel said as well, I think what we often see is that there's a depth there to the product that is untapped, right? And so even for customers that have been using it for, sometimes since the ACPAC days, the ACPAC Plus days in the 90s, there's just more there to be used, and so that's honestly the challenge that I see every day. It's not necessarily, we need to redirect you to a different solution because you've outgrown it. It's just you're still not using enough of what's in that product, and there's a lot of great depth in that product. And as you'll see today with some of the exhibitors, there's some amazing additional options that you can plug into what you already have. To extend the functionality even further, including into the cloud. So I think that's the important message.
So, Dean, there's a relationship there. I'm going to get you to.
Yeah.
There's a relationship there in terms of the native functionality, say, within Sage 300 that people can leverage more. But there's also an ecosystem of ISVs. How are you seeing that change in the adaptability, and where does that make sense, and where does that play?
Well, I think Robert, said it very well. Stole a little bit of my thunder, but nobody can sort of deliver that message better than Robert. So there is what you see in terms of functionality is some really clever solutions in terms of filling in very specific niches. And really it's a case of, you know, if you need to do X, you know, generally someone's thought of it already and it's there. And so there's these really cool niche products. There's complete vertical industry solutions that plug in seamlessly to what you have. And increasingly what we're seeing is, you know, cloud connected options. And as Robert said, you know, mobile and app. So these are things that traditionally people would say, you know, you can't do that with Sage 300, right? It's not a cloud solution. But what's available today is that all of those options are available to you within that software that you have maybe been using for 30 years.
And Dean, you know the importance of marketing and that marketing component of you got to repeat the message 4 or 5 times for it to resonate. So Rob didn't steal your thunder.
Yeah.
You're, you know.
No, and that's great because that, you know, I'm glad Robert said that, you know, and I'm glad that we're hearing that consistent message because that is important, right? There is a lot of great capability in that product. You know, I think of, you know, this is that old marketing around this isn't your father's, you know, grandfather's Oldsmobile, right? It's sort of that concept, right? Is that there's a lot of exciting things you can do with that product that, you know, that doesn't necessarily necessitate switching to a completely different solution.
You know, it's funny, there's this notion of the age difference between, say, Sage 300 and Intact. And the reality is Sage 300 came out of the early 90s and Intact was born in the late 90s. They were both in the same decade, you know. Chuck, for what are some of the key features and that differentiate the solutions in terms of how you're going through that requirements analysis and what you're looking at, and how do you know that this is the right solution for that customer?
Yeah, so I've had the pleasure of working with clients for the last 35 years and helping them navigate through selecting the right technology for their company. And you know, my last few years of working with clients, a lot of it has been focused on Sage Intacct and the cloud, and mainly because there's been such a major surgence of our clients considering the cloud. And they come to the meetings with all kinds of different drivers, and sometimes it's simply, yeah, we need to move to the cloud. Well, we need to get to, peel back the onion and understand what it is that is making that drive to the cloud, because I've had that experience of working with all the different products. There are so many different solutions that are available here and for different industries. So for example, industries, some products fit better within different industries. Sage Intacct tends to be a product that fits best in service-based industries. So those that are not buying and selling products or manufacturing products. Service-based industries like nonprofit organizations that are working in the community, research and development for causes, senior living organizations. These are great fits for them. We do a lot of work with First Nations organizations, professional services, people doing project type work where they're into project costing and billing. And then financial services, where people are doing asset management or family offices. So there's real strengths within Sage Intacct, but then, as Denis and Dean have elated to the fact that there are specific industries that are real strengths within each of these other products itself. So industry is certainly a leading indicator as to what might be the right solution for you. But that doesn't mean that you can't really evaluate all three solutions to see if there's a good fit for you.
Really smart move, not going in with a solution baked in your head, but letting the requirements determine what the right technology is for you. I'm going to switch to Daniel just for a second. And remember, Daniel, it's 3 against 1 on the stage here, just Bass to Sage. But, talk a little bit about the importance of a solution provider and the relationship that they provide.
I think one of the most important things is who you partner with. And from the Sage standpoint, we've been partnering with BAS for over 30 years. They're one of our most important partners around the world. And personally, I've known the BAS organization for as long as I've been doing this, for over 20 years. But I think who you partner with is going to be a key differentiator in helping you and your organization remain competitive and ultimately beat your competitors in the market. So I think the one point that I think is really important to make from my standpoint is this is an opportunity for all of you to not just evaluate the solutions, but to be really bold in the market. And what we've seen the pandemic do is really drive a lot of businesses forward. And today we're in an age that technology is accelerating. It's accelerating faster than it ever has. So what you're going to see in your solutions, your Sage solutions, you're going to see innovation that you've never seen before because of how fast technology is evaluating. And the best partner to help you with that is not just these three gentlemen here, but the BAS organization as a whole.
You know, I love that point that you just made around the importance of competitive differentiator by picking the right strategic partner. You know, it is so key. So we're going to do, again, kind of quick rapid. We'll start with Dean. What's the one thing that you want people to walk away from this conversation with and make sure that they're doing, and how do they get in touch with you?
I think the important message, and it's a topic that gets brought up a lot, especially, to me, speaking about Sage 300, which is, is Sage 300 cloud, right? That's the topic of the day. And, the knee-jerk reaction, including from people within our own organization, right, is the answer is no, right? And so you've got to do something else, right? And as Robert, said, you can build cloud around what you're doing already. There's going to be some excellent sessions. Jamie Lynetko will have sessions around how you put your IT infrastructure in a private cloud, right, in a hosted environment. And then on top of that, you'll see exhibitors and sessions today around some of these cloud-connected services. The folks at Sage have been talking about, Sage HR and Lockstep, and some really exciting things that are coming in terms of all of these great services that Sage has as a larger organization that they're bringing into Sage 300 so that you can be cloud connected, and what I like to refer to as, cloud where it counts, right? Nobody's that excited about being able to do a journal entry in a web browser, right? But if you can do barcoding in the warehouse and you can do some of these things where it counts, HR being cloud connected and running specific functions on an app, you can do that with Sage 300. So I think that's the main point that I want to leave, is that Sage 300 can be cloud the way you need it to be cloud.
Brilliant. And just as you pass that to Chuck, I'm thinking we might have to change your name because everybody else starts with a D up here on the panel. So, you got to pick a D name for yourself. What your
Dummy? Yeah, so I'm going to be spending the better part of my day in the room at the very end of the building. Actually, I think it's right next door. We just make you walk out and walk all the way around the building to finally get there. But the track is around moving to the cloud and the Sage Intacct solution. So as I mentioned before, you need to have a compelling reason to make a move from Sage 300 to Sage Intacct. Not just because you need to move to the cloud. Does that make the most sense, or even create any level of business case to make that kind of move? But that track that we'll be having today will definitely highlight some of the key elements as to why you may want to consider making that change. There is a lot of native capabilities in Sage Intacct that don't exist in Sage 300. There's also a lot of features in Sage 300 that don't exist in Sage Intacct. So we can't make the assumption that Intacct is at least Sage 300 in the cloud and that much better, because that may not necessarily be the case for you. So we need to make sure you do your due diligence. Make sure you spend time flushing out everything that you can with your existing investment in Sage 300 before you make that change to Sage Intacct. But if you want, we've got some great sessions. We'll talk about what the solution's capable of. We'll also be talking about what the process is to move from Sage 300 to Sage Intacct, or if you're on Business Vision, Sage 50, or any other product. So it'll be a great educational session. We also have a panel there that's going to include a couple of our customers that recently did a migration to Sage Intacct, and you'll be able to hear their experiences from their perspective, just not from ours. So hope you can join us there as well.
I guess from my end, if you were into wholesale, the distribution, manufacturing, whether it's discrete or process, if you have, your organization has complex needs, as I mentioned before, I mean, X3 may be the track today that makes sense attending. But I think above all and beyond what Rob shared as well, I mean, I commend you to take advantage of this event to ask questions, right? Challenge us, challenge Sage, challenge, right? So don't, whether it's today or later from an ERP perspective, before you go down the path of either, whether it's 300 Intacct or X3 or even another publisher, right? Take the time to, list your needs, list your requirements, validate the publisher, validate the partner. Today's a great opportunity to say, do I want to basically do business with BAS? I mean, this just, I commend you to challenge a partner, challenge the solution, and explore it. I mean, I agree with what Daniel shared earlier, like be bold, like don't be shy of exploring, and before you make your final decisions. I mean, it's different partners. I mean, ultimately, technology will all get you at destination, but who you're actually partnering with, how the journey to actually get there, that can be totally different, right? So again, there's more than technology in all this.
Right. And when you said other publisher, you meant Sage or Sage?
Correct.
Right, Sage
yeah,
or
absolutely,
Sage. Right.
absolutely. Yes, you got it. Thank you.
Amazing. One thing I'd like to do is I'd like to ask all the Sage people to stand up in the room.
Come on.
Wonderful. So, similar to BAS, Sage is deeply committed to your success. So please take the opportunity to meet with our team here. We would love to meet with you. We'd love to understand how we can help you and help you thrive in not just this environment, but for the future. So we're very excited to be here. Everyone here in the back of the room is here for you as a resource to help you learn more, leverage the resources and the products that you have most effectively. And then lastly, I just want to thank Joe and congratulate Joe on 35 years at BAS.